Hey, what's going on, everybody? Everybody in our health business support group and everybody following Move Think Smile. We got some really cool stuff we're talking about today. It's all about pricing, right? Now, before we get into that, I do want to do a couple quick housekeeping things, and that is we are changing the name of the group today. We are taking it from health coaches going full-time online to something a little bit more about what we do. And that is, we're not this whole multi-level marketing thing, and we're not generic and trying to sound like everybody else. We are here to help you, well, basically take your health and wellness business from idle to ludicrous speed without burning out, learning how to attract amazing clients with integrity and with confidence. And so we're changing the name to High Octane Health Businesses. That's exactly what we're doing. We watched that for today. We've been making announcements all week long, so don't be surprised when that happens. But let's dive into today's show, Elea. This is probably the biggest question I hear. Maybe paper or plastic might be a bigger question. I hear that, a little bit more. But, the biggest question I hear from everybody is, what price should I charge? I mean, isn't this crazy how this is something that should be so easy is it's almost debilitating, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, when I think back on this question, I'm thinking about when I went through my first coaching certification program and how everything I was looking for was also about how do I price myself? How do I price myself? What's the right price? And I just remember just being so confused.
Yeah, super confused. Super confused. Like I remember when you went out and you first got your life coaching certifications from CTI, the Coaches Training
hmm
Institute. It was a 2 year deal. It was a big deal. And they're like, okay, time to be a health coach or time to be a life coach. That's where we're back there. Time to be a life coach. What should I do? And I think we came out of the gate. What were you doing? Like $75 an hour or something like that. And
Something like
then
that.
ended
Yeah.
up getting up to those like, no, we should go to 100, 125. And I remember LA you kept resisting, right?
hmm
It's like, I don't know if I can charge more than that. I don't know if I could charge more than that. What was going through your head at that time?
I think I was focused too much on the dollar and what I was believing that meant. Right. And I was also really downplaying the impact that I was having on people, really just thinking it's just a coaching session, but really it's not. It's so much more than that. And I also think too that, my lack of confidence, I just wanted to help people and to give, everybody that opportunity and to make it easy for them to say yes. But actually, I wasn't really doing them a service at all.
Right. And it's pretty hard. So I remember you were pulling in about 1,200 bucks a month,
hmm
which is really hard to raise a family of four on.
hmm
I know because I'm there. um, and so we battled with this forever. So guys, today we're going to talk about exactly how to answer this question. What price should I charge? And most people are like, is it hourly? Is it monthly? Should I have packages? What should I do? And so our inclination, right? Because we see this everywhere out there that they're charging $7 for ebooks, or they're doing $50 challenges, or they're doing $97 e-courses. And the reason that's so prolific is because it's an easy number for the owner, the person to say, okay, I'm going to charge this amount. But what
hmm
happens is that works for different industries, but for this industry, and I don't mean if you're just getting out there and selling supplements. I don't mean if you're just getting out there and selling some essential oils. Now you can do those things, but in this industry, what I mean by this industry, and I mean health coaches and practitioners, I mean, you're helping somebody overcome a major physical, mental, or emotional health or wellness problem.
hmm
And so what we're seeing time and time again is that people are way undercharging we want you to undercharge for work, but they're way, 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 way below what they need to be because they're following all this outdated or the stuff that works. It might work for selling books or stickers or t-shirts, or it might work for selling just little things, but it does not work if you're selling something big. I mean, it can, but your business is going to suffer because everybody in here, I can guarantee, has got their heart into it, has got their passion into it, and is showing up and really helping your clients have these amazing transformations with their health. It doesn't matter if you're helping them with scoliosis or fibromyalgia, hormone imbalance, diabetes, weight gain, weight loss, whatever it might be that you're helping them with, right? This is a
hmm
big deal. So when we were going out there and we were doing $75 and I was like, I got to go to 25. And she went to 125, went to 150. And it just became this battle of how many hours can I bill?
Yeah.
It became a transactional model. And how fun was that, Elea?
Not fun.
No,
Not
it
fun at all.
wasn't. No, it was hard,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was hard because first of all, you felt like I'm not a doctor. You know, this is what was going through our head. I'm not an attorney. How can I charge $250 to $300 an hour? Well, you got
Mm-hmm.
to remember those guys are doing something. They're relieving somebody's pain. An attorney is normally, if you think about litigation, right? Two people have a disagreement. They come into
Yep.
litigation to try and figure it out, right? When it comes into litigation, they're relieving someone's pain, right? I'm not getting what I want, or somebody's trying to take my stuff or whatever it is. So they need someone to kind of like hash it out and do all the dirty work for them. So that's why attorneys make the big bucks. But attorneys are also burning out left and right because they're required to bill by the hour by most of the firms they work for.
Yep.
And so the difference here is, you know, if you want to know if your price is too low or if it's too high, there's a cool little exercise we can get into. Now, before we get into this, you know, a little spoiler alert, we're going to encourage you to raise your price, and I'll explain why in a second. Now, when we do this, there's going to be a couple things that pop up in your head. One's going to be like, who the hell is this guy? What is he telling me to do? In no way anybody's going to pay that kind of money, right? Nobody wants to do this. Nobody has that kind of money, anything like that. Elliot, talk about some of those things that, you know, we battled when we were creating Move Think Smile in our fatigue health coaching program.
Well, I think you hit on quite a few of them, like who are we and who's going to pay that, and really trying to wrap our minds around how people see, you know, coaching and health coaching, or, you know, this kind of stuff, how they see it in their mind and what they are willing and not willing to pay for. And, you know, I think we kept going back and forth with that. But the other thing that I noticed, and I also hear a lot, is, you know, I don't want to charge more because I feel like now I have to deliver more. Like the pressure is on. So if I increase my price, that means I really have to make sure that, you know, these results happen. And that's a really tough spot to be in, because now all of a sudden you just feel like you have to deliver. You were charging 125, and then maybe let's say you charge 500, and now you're like, I have to get $500 results. And we have to realize that it's not about that number.
Right. Right.
Right?
Well, think
It's not
about it.
about
Well, it's
that
not about
number.
the number, but it's also the time that you're putting in. So let's say you're at $100 an hour and you work with clients 40 hours a week, right? That's a lot of hours one-on-one with people or working with them. And then on the back end, that's not even counting the admin hours, the marketing, all the hours that you put into just running the business, keeping the systems flowing, doing that kind of stuff, answering questions and emails and doing things like that. That doesn't even talk about that. If you're making $100 an hour and you max out your time at 40 hours a week, you're at basically $4,000, right? So that's $16,000 a month. Now, most people are like, heck yeah, that'd be really cool to have $16,000 a month. And yeah, it would be. But that means you're working like 50, 60 hours a week and you
Yeah.
can't make any more than that.
Yeah.
And you're burning out and you don't have much of a life. I mean, sure, you're out there, you're helping these people, but are they really having major transformation? And here's the problem. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Ellie.
go ahead. Well, I was going to say, and I think that that's, you know, that's one of the biggest spots where we sabotage as we try to build our businesses is we burn out, we get overwhelmed, we start to lose the faith. And that's not where you want to be when you're building a business.
No, not at all. And so you have to shift your mindset on the way you look at pricing. So I'm going to make it as simple as possible. We have Walmart pricing, and then we have what I'm going to call Bentley pricing, Rolls-Royce pricing. Okay. Good stuff, super high quality. Most health and wellness people are out there. I want to make it affordable to people. I want to make it affordable to people. So they Walmart price their stuff. They do it $100 an hour, or maybe they'll, like, I've seen functional doctors out there helping with big problems like erectile dysfunction who are pricing, helping this guy make it work again for $300. And they're like, yeah, well, we're really struggling to make our business go because we do all this. We have all these costs and all these labs and these things that we do and things like that. And we're doing it all naturally and blah, blah, blah. It's like, why are you charging $300? Because, well, we want to help as many men as we can. It's like, well, how many men are showing up? Not that many. Not that many. And that's because they have the perception that the $300 price is a Walmart price. Think about it like this. If you're going to go get LASIK surgery on your eyes, are you going to go to the dude who's got like, hey, buy one eye, get the other one free, discount pricing, get it before it expires. It's only going to be $500. I'll do both your eyes. Or are you going to go to the guy down the street who's charging $3,000? It's your eyeball.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the guy that I want Rolls Royce for my eyes. I want Rolls Royce for my health. I want Rolls Royce everywhere else, because having quality, there's just something about the peace of mind that goes into that.
Yeah.
So,
And I think,
go ahead.
well, and I was going to say, I think so this might be something that they can really relate to, which is, this is the exact same thinking I went through with selecting a life coaching certification program. Like, I didn't want the fly by night certification program. I didn't want the $200 or the $500 certification program. I was serious about helping people, conquer the stress in their life and be able to, get the skills to help them do that. And I wanted one of the top coaching schools that I could go to, and I was willing to pay. So I think, think about too, your own process of choosing your health coaching certification, your training. You wanted the best because you wanted to be good.
Yes.
Right.
Right. And you're in this group because you want to serve people at your highest level. And that's the thing here. So how do we know what price to set? People could talk about premium pricing and low pricing and all this stuff all day long. They could talk about how, people will show up, and they do. When they have skin in the game, they actually show up. They do the work, right? There's nothing more disenchanting than having a client like we did. We were charging them hourly. Then they go completely MIA, missing in action. Don't answer any emails. Don't respond to any phone calls. And they've got a $600 tabs due. We've already done our side of the things, and they're not showing up. And we have no idea where they're at. It doesn't feel good when that happens. And that's because of the price and the transaction model that you're charging. So how can we change that? Well, here's an example. So Elea, give me an example of one of your past clients recently in our fatigue coaching program that you really like. Just what were they dealing with?
Well, let's see. Extreme fatigue to the point of having to drink a pot of coffee a day.
Okay.
And a lot of pain, a whole lot of pain,
Okay.
just a lot of achy joints, a lot of anxiety as well.
Okay.
All while trying to, beat her numbers at her mortgage broker and raise two girls and, be in a loving relationship. I mean, yeah, a lot.
And probably some weight gain in there too, right? Okay. So think about it like this, guys. Here's the exercise. If a woman comes to you, or it could be a man, both. If a woman comes to you and she calls you up and she says, thank you so much for helping me get my energy back, right? And she shows up. This woman shows up. She's decisive. She's ready to take action. She's not making any excuses. She's committed. She's committed to winning, right? Nothing else has worked before. She has every excuse and every reason in the book to say, this is not going to work for me. But she's committed to figuring this stuff out. So she hires you, okay? And she shows up resourceful. She's coachable. She's making the time to do this out of her busy schedule. And your freaking program just rocks her world. All of a sudden, she's lost 50 pounds. She's no longer pre-diabetic. Now, she's all of a sudden doing something she's always wanted to do. She's running for a marathon, training for a marathon. At work, she's no longer getting passed over for promotions anymore. She's queen of the boardroom because of you. Her income has just skyrocketed 3 times in the past year. And at home, her husband is actually interested in her again, wants to touch her again. And she's queen of the bedroom because of you. What is it worth to give that kind of woman that kind of power back for the rest of her life? Put it in the box below. What is it worth to give that woman back that kind of power for the rest of her life? Elea?
It's priceless.
It's exactly. You can't put a value on that. You just changed the quality of someone's life. You gave them this incredible superpower of impact. They're impacting their career. They're impacting their family, and they're actually enjoying life again. They're feeling better. They're living longer. They have more energy on down the road. It doesn't matter what you're fixing. It doesn't matter what you're fixing. This is how we know we can articulate it. So you're getting $3,000, $5,000, heck, even some of our clients, $10,000 or more for their high octane, high impact, transformational health and wellness help. We're no longer pricing it by the hour, the time we're spending with people. We're no longer pricing it based on how many books I'm going to sell, right? We're no longer pricing it on that. What you're doing, and think about it like this. If somebody, at least people in the United States, health insurance, a big thing here, right? The most common health insurance are what they call catastrophic plans. Those are the ones where the deductibles are like $10 to $15, even $20,000 these days because health insurance has become so expensive. So if somebody has a high deductible insurance plan, a catastrophic plan, and she's burned out, she's overweight, she's pre-diabetic, I can guarantee you she's spending $10,000 a year just trying to manage the stuff going on with her. In the next 10 years, that's $100,000. If you've got a 5K program, you just saved that woman $95,000 plus all the priceless stuff that's happening. Mm-hmm. So by having a 5K program, you're undercharging for your worth. It's fair to them extremely if you know how to communicate your true value. And it's also very fair to your business. And so this works really well on a couple contingent factors. One, you've got to be really good at what you do. Right, Elea? Is this going to work for somebody who's just like, hey, yeah, I've got a health coach certification, but I suck?
Absolutely not. No, of course. You've got to be able to get results with your clients, and that's important, right? But you also can't take the entire load on your shoulders. You've got to understand it's like you're 50% of the equation. Actually, probably the client's more like 80% and you're 20% of the equation, right? Mm-hmm. But it's getting your clients to show up and do the work. It's getting them to really engage. It's getting them to be committed to their own success.
And what's cool here is if you do it the right way, you don't have to get them to do any of that. They just do it.
Yep.
That's how they show up from day one. The first time you talk to them, they show up decisive, committed, resourceful. They're ready to get out there and rock it out because nothing else has worked. And they understand that this is a bargain. And right now you're probably going, yeah, Adam, that's really cool, but there's not enough people out there with that kind of money. And I will challenge every one of you on that. If someone's spending 10 grand a year just to manage their health and it's slowly declining because it's just being either zapped or treated with chemicals and it's not getting to the root cause of the problem, then yeah. So you've got to be able to, one, you got to be good at what you do, but two, you've also got to be able to transform someone's health. That's how this works. It's not more information. And that's where those low priced items come in at, right? The $200, the $300, the $500. Yeah, it's more information. It ends up becoming shelf help. People get it, they do it, they put it over here, they think something's going to happen. Guess what? 6 months, a year later, they're in the worse state than they were before. They're in a worse state than they were before. And so, Elea, like roadblocks to charging this higher price, like we can say all day, is like people will pay it. They'll be happy to give you their credit card, right? Without making any excuses, without any roadblocks. They'll show up if you learn how to do it the right way. But what are the roadblocks that come up in your head? I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough, imposter syndrome, worried about having to have like the splashiest, most techie, most amazing Hollywood style program or website. And again, I'm going to have to deliver, 3 or 5K worth of results. And again, we put all this judgment on it, right? And what's really important is to understand you cannot judge what people will pay because you're not them and you don't know how they are with money. You don't know what they spend their money on. You don't know what they think is expensive or not expensive. Mm-hmm. And, I think that that's one thing that we really can get caught in is we think our own judgments, our own ideas about what is expensive is what everybody else is going to think.
What's more expensive, $5,000 or losing 10 years off your life? I don't know about you, but I would say losing 10 years off my life. Or even worse, not losing the 10 years off your life, but just sitting there confined to a rocking chair on your front porch watching life go by because your health isn't a crapper, because they didn't have you to help them transform.
Yeah. And I think it's important too to say that when you're struggling with the price is really understanding that you're making it all about you, and that is a tough pill to swallow, right? You're making it all about you, and it's not about you. It's not about you at all. It's about the transformation. It's about how you're going to be able to help them. Like Adam said, the priceless things. But we tend to equate the price with who I am. And that's where we get into trouble. And I actually remember, one piece of advice I got a long time ago was the nauseous test, which is, put your price at a point where it makes you feel a little nauseous, a little scared, but then, so put it there, but don't go to the point where you feel like you're going to hurl your lunch. And I get what they were trying to do with that exercise. And I think it's actually a pretty fascinating one. But again, it comes back down to this is about you and how you feel about the price.
Right.
And how you feel about the price is the long way to go about this.
Right. It is the long way to go about this. And here's the fact. You are, if you're anything like us, you're going to go over the top and show up at your highest level and serve your clients and make sure they're having amazing progress, because that's what they need. They need support. I can use the A word. I'm not talking about Adam. I'm talking about accountability. You hear that word thrown around a lot. I need accountability, People need to be told what to do. They do. And I don't mean from like a drill sergeant, but if they're dealing with these health and wellness problems, plus their career, they're worried about that. Am I going to be able to keep my job? Am I worried about, am I going to be able to have my house next month? Am I going to put food on the table? Or they come home and they're stressed out because the kids are always there now because they're being homeschooled and there's never me time anymore, right? So you have to look at how this is really impacting their life, but also how much of a value you're giving, because now all of a sudden your quality, you're not saying I'm Walmart anymore, because people don't want Walmart. They don't want more information. They want more information. All they got to do is look up on their phone and download the latest smart news app. Like, there's tons of information there. They can Google anything. There's plenty of people giving away free PDFs and books. And guess what? They'll download them and they don't read them. And they sure as heck don't sign up for their programs, right? Because they're handing out Band-Aids. Stop handing out Band-Aids. Start getting what you're worth. And remember, it's so fair to your clients because you're undercharging what you're giving them.
I think it's important to say too that, when you're in this level that, like you said, the clients show up really ready to fix this. And why not you be the coach that is the one that fills that slot for them? They've tried all the other things. They didn't work. They didn't really show up. They didn't really do the work. And so they've kind of at this point where they know they have to figure out something in order to get themselves to really shift this. And so what you're doing is you're getting people who are at a prime point for transformation versus the people who are like, you know what, maybe, I kind of want to fix this, but it's not that bad yet. Because classically, as humans, we don't typically change things very well until we're kind of in this desperate place. We're not very good at preventative. So why not be the coach who's there when they're at that boiling point and they're ready to make something happen?
Yeah. So guys, if you're a health coach or practitioner and you're like, you know what, I really love what I do. I'm passionate about helping people. I really want to get out there and make these things happen. Then I would invite you to come over to movethinksmile.com/grow. And let's talk about helping you set a price it'll be a little bit outside your comfort zone right now. That's cool. But we'll make sure it's not so far that it seems, unattainable, right? We'll help you set a price that's fair to your clients, but also healthy for your business. Because there's nothing more draining than getting out there and trying to pimp $100 an hour sessions, or maybe if you're lucky, $200 an hour sessions, capping your stuff, wearing yourself to the bone, and using an old school transactional model. Yeah, that's where we came from. But we're humans, we're organic, and we're always evolving. That's why they call it evolution. And your business can be evolving too. So let's pump some high octane fuel into it. Let's take you from kind of like idle speed, just kind of going down the road, to taking off. And I don't mean, when I say ludicrous speed, I don't mean like out of control. I mean like totally in control, consistent, build that momentum so it doesn't go away. And you're not burning out trying to make all this happen. Guys, if that sounds interesting to you at all, come on over to movethinksmile.com/grow. We'll hop on the phone. We'll chat for a few minutes. You're going to talk to Elea, or you're going to talk to myself. That's who you're going to talk to. And we'll see if we're a good fit to help you really, really, put some energy into your business, really grow, attract some amazing clients, right? You'll hear us say that again, amazing clients, right? And what's not amazing, Elea? What's not amazing?
Not having clients, or working too hard and burning out
Right.
while having clients.
Or even worse, having crappy clients.
Yeah, or having crappy clients.
Right? Like we've got a functional doctor in our program right now, in our business program, and he was like, yeah, it's like these guys, like they're coming on. I mean, I'm getting people from all over the place, but just they're not happy. It's like torture to come in here, even though I'm helping them really feel better. He's like, I just don't want to work with these people anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's what ends up happening when you have a price that you set that's right. So the pricing conundrum, I would say it's solved. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, again, listen to what we've said here today, and, really figure out, okay, yeah, are you ready to kind of look at this and attack this from a different perspective, and, really try on something that is healthy for you and your business.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, guys. So get out there, go through it again, look at the value that you're giving somebody, how you're changing the rest of your life, and ask yourself, is it really worth $300, $500, $800, $997, $1997? Or is it more than that? Because you're there, you're showing up, you're helping them have this amazing health transformation. And if you'd like help doing that, come over to movethinksmile.com/grow. Let's get on the counter. Let's pick a time to talk. We'll chat, see where things at, see if we can help you do the same thing. All right, guys, until then, Adam and Elea signing out. We'll see you guys in the next episode.